Hey Dom, this is Dave Decide. Today, I want to get into an apparent group chat involving Jungkook and some craziness happening there. I wanted to get into people believing Jungkook is emotional over the rumors of IU dating, and I wanted to get into the fans jealous of hand-holding. So, hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on, grab your tumbling, taste spilling mug merch, and let's get into it. Jin recently appeared on a show called My Alcohol Diary. This show is pretty popular, and you can watch it here on YouTube. This show is basically just featuring guests, and they decide to feature Jin. This was definitely a big deal as it's one of the few times Jin appeared by himself, let alone any BTS member appearing on variety shows and or Korean shows. Since it was just him, the show can focus on his story and ask really personal questions so we can get a better insight into him as a person. And he answered so many of those questions and even talked about how nervous he was to do this show without the members and without HYBE's in-house production team. This is relevant, which is why I am bringing it up. If you want me to react to the full My Alcohol Diary episode with Jin, make sure you check out my Patreon and let me know. I'd be glad to do it and fangirl over the full episode with you. I will link my Patreon below. Now, Jin and the host were playing a game during the segment. It was a drinking card game, and the game involved slapping the buzzer thing. So occasionally, as you can imagine, there will be moments where Jin or the host would touch each other's hand. This is how games work, and even if they didn't touch hands in the game, they probably hugged or shook each other's hand when greeting each other. I mean, when you meet someone, you touch them, at least pre-Rona days. But anyway, there was a moment where the two touched and Armies Online really freaked out. After the show was uploaded and posted, Jin went on Weverse to answer questions and just talk to Army, as Jin had shared a lot of personal stuff. I assume he was hoping to clarify something that may or may not need clarification. The members do this sometimes to avoid any confusion, and especially after the hiatus situation, you can imagine that it is more necessary to jump on and very quickly debunk potential rumors before the news takes its spin on it. One particular Army talked about how jealous they were that Jin held the host's hand. I don't know if this was someone who was joking or not, but it was definitely hilarious. I can't imagine there were too many of these comments, and I say that because I feel like both Jin and Tan have a habit of finding these super funny and slightly embarrassing comments. But Jin replied saying that he hit her hand and slammed down, but never held her hand. And of course, other Armies were embarrassed that Jin even felt the need to clarify that, because what is likely going through his head when he reads those comments, right? He's probably thinking, y'all are crazy. But I think this is absolutely hilarious. It's so funny, and it also goes to show that BTS knows what's going on in the fandom and what people are talking about, so don't just be saying whatever. Think about it a little bit. Crazier and more darker things in the fandom that I actually hope BTS members don't know about happens a lot as well. And I wanted to get into something that may make your jaw drop, that this is something that some people do with their free time, and literally does not exist in American fandoms, but seems to be quite common among K-pop fandoms that a lot of people, but at the same time not a lot of people know about, and needs more of a spotlight. These moments that I am talking about are responsible for the immense death threats and violence towards Jimin specifically. We already know that a lot of people just have too much time on their hands. There's no way a lot of these people have friends, because you just wouldn't have time to do any of this. But what am I talking about here? There's something called Akes in Korean. This is a group of people who heavily worship or love one specific member of a group or celebrity. You might think that is fine. That is similar to having a bias and it's not a big deal. Except Akes for some reason want the other members dead, which makes no sense to me because, for example, me loving BTS doesn't mean I want Lady Gaga to die. And I feel like that is a normal mentality to have. There were some people who were pretending to be Jimin fan accounts, but were actually Akes of Jungkook. So they want Jimin gone or they want Jimin to be bullied. So much so that some of these people created fake hashtags and were planning on making the hashtag in Korean so Jimin sees it. These group chats have a lot of people in them and usually Jimin accounts. That way, if other armies see that it's a Jimin account tweeting out about something, they may retweet or post the hashtag before even realizing what the hashtag is about. Having a group chat that is very large is a very easy way to manipulate hashtags and get something trending right away. These group chats and texts of alleged fans fans who claimed to be Jungkook fans ended up coming out. And I say alleged Jungkook fans because Jungkook loves Jimin, and if he knew that these people were doing this, he would not love those people. An attempt to ruin Jimin's birthday is very sad and sick. I wish these people would contribute this energy into something else that can be more useful to the world. There's so many sick people and hungry people in the world that could just use so much as a hashtag to get donations and things like that. These people making these hashtags and trying to ruin a celebrity's life, I don't even know what to say. It's so unbelievably dark, and I can't even imagine these people are anything but sociopaths. So many K-pop idols have killed themselves over this stuff, and what is the reaction if Jimin gets severely hurt by these comments? Will these people just laugh? Is that what they want? I can't imagine that would be an outcome that they would want. I feel like cancel culture breeds these people, whereas these people are the ones that need to be canceled and held accountable. I don't want to ever interact with these people in real life. I don't think they should be ever employed, allowed to use the internet, or contribute any more to this horrible rhetoric into society. Luckily, I think the members know not to go online during their birthday, or be more careful when they do, and they might be careful about going online in general. Luckily, these comments or moments are still less than the love that they received. Jungkook was the one who actually got a lot of condolences within the last day or so, and it's something that you wouldn't expect. Jungkook has mentioned for years that he idolizes IU and loves her music. People are going to be mad when I say this, but you can hear her sound in his voice and her inspiration in his work. And he loves her so much that he even attended her concert recently. And she's just been around for ages, so IU is an inspiration to everyone. Jungkook even talked about his type and what woman he prefers to be with. That was ages ago though, and a lot of his description matched what IU is. Now hold on to that thought. It was rumored about a day ago that IU was seen in Paris on a date, and it was with Yoo Ah-in. He is a famous Korean actor, and these were paparazzi or fan photos taking photos of IU and Yoo Ah-in interacting. It wasn't anything crazy. I think IU was interacting with some of her supporters that had showed up, and she noticed that Yoo Ah-in was also there and just waved. The interaction was, in my opinion, a little awkward looking, as they both knew each other from the media. IU had previously talked about liking Yoo Ah-in from a distance and enjoying his shows, but it didn't seem like they really knew each other that well. Dating rumors for IU is nothing new. It was believed for ages that IU was dating half the men in the industry. Yoo Ah-in had also previously talked about how IU was his type. Now there could be a spark there between the two, but we only know that they waved at each other, and that's all. And just because there could be an interaction doesn't mean that they would pursue it, because they are both idols. And I don't think they're dating. People defended both IU and Yoo Ah-in by saying that Yoo Ah-in is gay and allegedly attended a gay club. He had this rumor around him for ages, and he even responded to this a while ago saying that the rumors are baseless. So I don't know how that would be a good defense. Now, since the rumor dropped and made its way into Korean media that the two were dating, people started to talk about it, and every time IU's name gets dropped, Jungkook's name also gets brought up. Remember, the whole him having a crush on IU thing. So people were quote tweeting and responding saying that Jungkook would have an emotional response to IU's quote-unquote dating Yoo Ah-in, even though nothing like that has been confirmed. What I think is funny about this is that Jungkook does not care, because if he was so interested in dating her, he could easily get her information and talk to her. At the very least, J-Hope did a show with IU and has contact. So if Jungkook hasn't made a move, he likely isn't interested in that way. Men are usually pretty obvious if they like you. Also, IU had allegedly mentioned liking Yoo Ah-in in his drama, so if Jungkook had felt any type of way, he would have felt that way in the moment that those quote-unquote headlines started to circulate. So no, I don't believe Jungkook was emotional or anything like that, but what do you think? Do you think he was? What do you think about the alleged Jungkook fan group chat hating Jimin? And what do you think about Jin debunking hand-holding rumors? I think they're so funny. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thanks to this lovely comment right here. Love you, bye.